Matt Hancock, we were just discussing the High Court case that you have lost. You have broken the law. Can I ask you about that? The High Court has ruled that you acted unlawfully by not publishing contracts quickly enough that your department struck during the coronavirus pandemic. And these are contracts that were worth millions and millions of pounds, sometimes hundreds of millions of pounds. Would you like to take this opportunity to apologise to people for that?
The court case did not find that there was a problem with any of the contracts.
As you know, some of those contracts were nonetheless highly controversial, and the judge himself, Lord Justice Chamberlain, says that you spent, and I quote, vast quantities of public money on pandemic-related procurements. The public were entitled to see who this money was going to, what it was being spent on, and how the relevant contracts were awarded. And he's absolutely right, isn't he? He's
100% right. And that is absolutely possible.
Listen, we both know that some of these contracts were controversial at the time and subsequently. My question is, if you think that the judge was right, if you think this is really just a technical issue, why did you spend £200,000 of public money fighting the case in the first place? Wasting that money.
I don't think that there's been any of that. We do have
to.
The
money's been wasted.
I
suppose I do remember back, but the question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The question is, was it the right PPE? Were these the right companies? Did they provide value for money? And was their equipment good enough? And there've been questions about all of that. The National Audit Office, whose report preceded all of this, have said that there was a special, as it were, fast-track lane for people who had contacts with politics and government, and that such organisations were 10 times likelier to get the contract. And that has led many people to think there is something wrong here, something fundamentally wrong going on in the way these contracts were awarded.
Of course, we fast-tracked the leads that we thought were most likely to be able to get hold of the stuff fastest.
Let me read you out something else from the National Audit Office report, because this is quoting directly from them. And they said that your actions, and I quote, diminished public transparency and the lack of adequate documentation means we cannot give assurance that the government has adequately mitigated the increased risks arising from emergency procurement or applied appropriate commercial practices in all cases. That's the National Audit Office basically saying you did not give them the information that allowed them to take the judgment you've been talking about.
Andrew, now, of course, there's the loose ends that need tying up. But what is most important is my team have worked so hard and done so well, no matter what the naysayers say.
So you have nothing to apologise for at all, despite losing a case and being legally in breach of the law?
Look, people can make up their own view.